guys, welcome back to another vlog. I feel like I always start the vlogs standing here, or I feel like I spend half the vlog standing here chatting to you guys. I thought I'd pick up the camera and say hello and just spend maybe 24 hours, maybe 48 hours with me. I am actually going to start us off by talking to you about the Amazon Echo. If you watched the last video, I put it in my gift guide, said that it was really, well, I said I was really excited to get stuck into it, and I've been using it for about 5 days now. So good. So I'm going to start before I forget about telling you about that. And then I've got a nice little Holland Cooper order to show you guys. What are you doing, pig? I'm going to try and make bread today. That's what this stuff is. I was at Lauren's house the other day and she made bread and camembert. Well, she made camembert, she made her own bread to go with it. So how on earth does one figure out how to make bread? Like, that is, you know, gold. And she was like, it's the easiest thing. So I'm gonna attempt it. So I went out this morning and I had yoga, and then I went to Marquis and I got my bread ingredients. Also, look at these. Obviously my sister's coming home for Christmas with her little baby, and I saw this, these little hat and mitten sets in Marquis. So I got her baby one and my baby one so they could be matching. How cute is that? How much were they? £12, and they're really lovely and thick and just beautiful, lined as well. I'll leave that down below for you guys. But right, this Echo, Amazon Echo Show, I think it's called, is what it looks like. So I'm still waiting on the frame. It's not arriving for like another week, I think, from Amazon. But this is what it looks like when it's like kind of in sleep mode and not using it. It's really snazzy. It has a little changer on the back as well, like a remote. You can click in your apps, and I have, so far I have Prime signed in, Netflix. I don't know what these are, but that's quite fitting considering how much Red Bull I drink. I got YouTube, Channel 4 and Disney Plus. The only one I'm missing on there is Discovery, and that's kind of like all my fave TV things. So you can literally play anything. Download Spotify, but I've not figured out how to do that one yet because I actually don't know my password or anything. But there's Amazon Music, which I've never used before, but it has everything you'd want. You've got your shopping list, you've got your music, you've got your apps, your calendar. You can just use it like your phone, I suppose. So far, absolutely love it. I think it's really fun, and the vibes are just nice in here. I don't know if it's just like the novelty of it is still there, but it's just nice to be able to have some background music, and also when I'm cooking, watch my shows, and yeah, I really like it. Look, Yoda. These guys are besties now. It's crazy. I mean, they've been really good friends for a while, but now they're just obsessed with each other. They sleep on the sofa together at night, don't you? You love your little brother. And Yodi's been so good behaved, like well behaved, good behaved. He comes up in the bed and sleeps with me at night time until Dad comes up, and then you go down. Just lovely boys, aren't you? Really lovely boys. Yeah. And they're coming up to Scotland with us as well at Christmas, so that would be nice. They can go now hang out with my mum's dog, having been through training. So I think that would be really interesting to see how they react. Hey? Okay, shall I show you? I've got a couple new in bits, some new jewelry to show you, Holland Cooper bits. I think that actually might be it. And then I'm gonna make my bread, see how that goes. I'm gonna show you some jewelry because I have been given a discount code. I'm working with Monica Vinader and they gave me a discount code, 20% off. And I feel like it's a really good code to get right now for last minute Christmas gifts and things. Because if you're anything like me and you leave everything to the last minute, it can get a little bit stressful. The code is Nadia Anya, and it's 20% off for first time customers, which basically means if you've already shopped there before, just sign up with a new email address and it'll work. Picked up some really gorgeous bits to add into the jewelry collection, but also I feel like they're gonna be really, really nice for like the festive season. I got some bits that were more kind of a little bit more statement and thing. First of all, these earrings I've had so many questions about recently. I've actually not stopped wearing them. They catch the light really nicely, and I just think they're a really good size. They're my kind of hoop, where they're like super comfortable, really lightweight, not too big, not too small, and then you can wear them day and night. Like, I feel like they're just a really good all-rounder. And then this necklace is new in, which I thought was so stunning. Look at the little heart on it. Probably see the texture in that. I've got a couple hoops from Monica Vinader that have that same kind of like, you see. So I really appreciate that. You can buy the pendants and the necklaces separate, or you can get them as a pairing. I have to go get Johnny to put this next one on because it's the only problem with having longer nails. I just can never get my necklaces on. But this is the next one I bought. It's so gorgeous. It's a lot more dainty than the one I just showed you. So the chain is more dainty, and look at the little pendant. It's lab grown diamonds, so really gorgeous and really sparkly. And obviously Monty's little initial on it, but I just thought that was so pretty. I also feel like that would be the nicest gift for someone. I always say this about personalised jewellery, but I just think it's just really lovely and sentimental. Now that I'm talking about this out loud and showing you guys it, I feel like this is gonna be the perfect gift for my sister. I think I'm gonna go and buy her that in a minute. But isn't that just so pretty? And I thought these two actually stacked together could work really nicely. I could obviously put this pendant on this chain, or I could just stack them like that. Isn't that so cute? With like my love heart and my baby's name, well, initial, next to each other. And then the final two pieces I got were a bit more aimed at like dinners and, well, obviously year round, but having festive wardrobes in my head coming up. So nice like Christmas Day set or nice festive dinners. This is from the line called Aria, and I just thought it was so pretty. I have nothing like it. So this is the ring that I got. How stunning is that? I feel like it's so simple, but so different at the same time. And also not too big, like it's not a crazy massive big ring, but it's enough that it doesn't need anything else on the wrist, it stands out. I just think that's so pretty, the little dent in it as well. And this is the matching necklace. Isn't that so gorgeous? Again, I think this one would actually look really nice stacked, but because of that dent in the middle and the light catching it so beautifully, it definitely doesn't need anything else with it. But those two as a set, I just think is so gorgeous. I'm gonna put this one on and show you. You can definitely tell how it's like catching the light, which I just think is so pretty. Definitely would look gorgeous with like a V-neck, nice blouse, or like something a little bit more dressy. But I also think that's definitely a necklace that I would wear more every day. And then this beautiful ring. Again, such a lovely gift to give someone for Christmas. I'm really chuffed with all them. They're all so pretty. And like I say, I have a discount code, Nadia AMV, for 20% off. I'll put that down below and on screen. Also, just whilst I'm here, every single time I share my bracelet stack, I get asked about this green bracelet, which is Monica Vinader. Absolutely love it. I think it's the nicest little bracelet. I have a whole like, gold stack, so just having that little bit of green adds so much to it. Whenever I've taken this off, and it's been off for like a day or two, which is very rare in the last like 2 years that I've had it, my stack looks so different, and it's just because there's not that little hint of green, which just ties it all in so nicely together. I'm sure they do this one in a pink as well, and then they also do it in just like a classic diamond, so you can get 20% off them as well, which I think are a really lovely gift for someone as well. Yeah, if you're in the need of some Christmas shopping, last minute gift ideas, inspo, I hope that helps. Whilst I'm in here, I'm going to show you the Monica Vinader order that I've been saying that I'm going to show you, I think, for like 2 or 3 vlogs now. I also did a wardrobe switch over last week, or was it this week? A couple days ago, which is the latest I've ever done it, and I was putting it off and putting it off and putting it off because it's just such, well, it's actually not that big a job, but it feels like such a big job. But now my wardrobe feels like it has a little bit more rhyme and reason to it. Is that the phrase? Rhyme and reason, or rhyme and rhythm. And all my summer dresses are like packed away now, so that feels nice, but I've got a little bit more room. So I'll just run you through each bit. Some of this is a very, you know, quite country, but I'm going up to Scotland. Obviously we do a lot of dog walks, so I do like a bit of country gear. I like my country gear to be like a nod to country, but not stuffy country. I've got some really nice pieces that are like knitwear, coats, and then 2 pairs of trousers. But this little jumper, which I thought was really nice, it's just a real lovely, basic, high neck, soft, khaki knit jumper. I like their buttons, I feel like they're really nice, but I will say Zara do very similar, just not as nice quality. So if you like the look but you don't want to spend too much on a piece, go to Zara. But I thought that was really nice. It's kind of like a mohair, really lovely, can you see? Very, very soft. And I also really like this branding. A couple of the jumpers I got have that on the neck, which I think is really nice. But I was just thinking, obviously tucked into like leggings with boots, and that's probably it. Okay, next is actually a little waistcoat. I'm gonna show you the one that Lauren bought me. Lauren bought me this 2 winters ago, and I love it. I wear it so much. Actually I wear it to layer in the winter, so I'll wear like knit, then this, then a jacket. But in the spring, I just think they're really handy little throwovers, spring and autumn. So this one's from Shuffle, which I will say I actually way prefer than the Holland Cooper ones, because this has little drawstrings. Can you see in there? So it does actually give you a little tiny bit of shape, which is nice. So this is what started my love for these. I wanted to get a cream one, and I thought this one was super cute from Holland Cooper. Like I say, this one doesn't have drawstrings like the Shuffle one does, and this is also different fabric, but those drawstrings, I didn't realise how much I liked them on a piece like this. Like they just bring in a little bit of shape. Like obviously this isn't shapeless, but I just think there's something about those drawstrings. Anyway, this one is gorgeous. I like the colour of it. It's also more like a waterproof quilted fabric. Branding around the neck. That's a really nice little patch actually, like a little leather patch. And I think this will look really sweet with all of the kind of pieces that I bought. So like with khakis, and also I got a really nice cream jumper. This is what the model had on and I really like it. This one might be a little step too far into the country land, but I'm really into my cable knit. I've got actually quite a good collection of cable knit this year. I feel like I've kind of found my way to wear it, and that is more fitted pieces or thinner pieces. When it's cable knit that's really, really thick, then I don't know, there's something about it that puts me off. But this I think is really nice. It's just a nice little thin knit, very thin but really soft again, more of like a cotton, cable knit on it, and then gold zip, and then this little bit around the neck, which I thought was really sweet. Again, they've got those like classic buttons that they do, and the model had this and this paired together, which I thought was really nice. And also good for like those days, like the Sunday pub days, you know, when we go on a dog walk and then we go to the pub. And I always say, like, whenever you take the jacket off, that's the outfit that you're wearing for lunch, right? So you want it underneath to be nice. So I feel like that's a really nice layering set. The next jumper I showed you on my last video, it's a gorgeous brown cable knit, really lovely, like soft. It is fluffy though, so it does go up your nose a little bit, but just a real lovely loose jumper. That little bit of branding around the neck. They did this in this color, which is obviously lovely chocolate brown, but they also did it in a cream. And then, well, I'll show you a video on screen, but it's got like this cable knit bit here, then it's got this plain bit, and then it has like the big hem, but it hangs so beautifully. It's so flattering. It's that perfect shape to wear with boots and leggings, and it kind of covers enough of your bum and your thighs. It's just really flattering. This one I think is really lovely, but definitely country. But I think it looks so cute. Again, it's like quite a nice fitted jumper. It's cable knit. It's that fluffy kind of mohair again. This one, to be fair, hasn't gone up my nose the way the brown one did. So yeah, maybe it's a little bit better. But it's got this really lovely little half or quarter zip, gold quarter zip, and those buttons. And I just thought that would be really nice paired with skinny jeans or leggings, wellies or big boots. And again, I say Sunday, but you know the vibe. I mean, like just that practical, but still feel good in what you're wearing, and you're not in like just a big black jumper and big black leggings, which is what I wear all the time. And then with that two cream pieces I was showing you, I was trying to wear them to Lauren's house the other week, and I was like, oh, what do I style these with? Because black felt too heavy on the bottom, and she said get a pair of brown leggings or like brown jeans. So I have brown leggings, of course, from like my gym wear, but something just a little bit thicker. They did these really nice leggings. I think they were called like contour or something. What are they called? Yeah, contour leggings. They did them in brown, which is what I tried to get, but the brown was sold out. But then I saw they had this really lovely khaki, and I thought they would actually work with all the jumpers I just showed you. Maybe not the brown. I think, well, maybe, but I think that, I don't know, I think the green ones, the cream ones, and also just any like my cream knits. It's just something a little bit different than classic black leggings. They actually fit really nice as well. Them in the green, I feel like they look much, yeah, that's like the true color. They're quite a dark khaki. And then I got a pair of their jeans, which to be honest, I might send back because I feel like I don't need to spend that much on brown skinny jeans. And I did try and find them on like H&M and things, but I wonder if it's more of like a spring thing. But I also might keep them because I think I will get the wear out of them. But just really lovely chocolate brown jeans, actually quite dark, so that's the kind of true colour there. I feel like whenever I cut to the camera it makes everything much lighter, but they are definitely like a dark brown, which I think is really nice. They have a little bit of branding on the bum, and then they've got this nice like stitching, which I don't have a bum, so I feel like that would actually be quite flattering on me. But yeah, I think they are really cute. Again, paired with like the cream, it's just something a little bit less heavy and dark on the bottom, so I'm really happy with all that. Like that's a good little selection of things to bring up north with me over the Christmas. That and a load of loungewear, and that'll be me for the Christmas holidays. It's a couple of days later now, and I thought I would just finish this vlog off by doing a little Q&A. I feel like I don't think I've done a Q&A on my YouTube since I was pregnant. So I thought we could do a little catch up. I was sitting on Instagram, excuse if you can hear the pigs, sitting on Instagram the other day, and I was thinking, I feel like I just need a good old chin wag with you guys over here. I have 1 or 2 more videos going out before the end of the year, so I've got another vlog coming, and then I might do one in Scotland, but this is going to be one of my last videos of the year, which feels strange, so I thought we should have a nice little catch up. I'm wearing that jumper, by the way, from Holland Cooper. I absolutely love it. By the way, just whilst I'm on my phone, because I've just literally paused it, I'm listening to this book right now. It's so good. It was really slow to get into. The first couple I'd say like the first, I mean, it's actually really long, it's a 12-hour listen. The first, I'd say 2 hours, maybe even the first like 3 hours, I was like, this is so boring, but I'd paid for it. I was like, just stick with it and see what happens. It's getting really good. I haven't even gone through these questions. I just said, be as nosy as you like, and I'm just gonna pick ones at random. Okay, so considering I have one pig here and another pig over there, lots of questions about the dogs, but mostly I think it must be like new followers or people that haven't, well, I guess heard me or seen me talk about it. People are asking about why I always say I don't trust the dogs around the baby, or why I never, well, this one specifically says, I'm wondering why your boy is never around your 2 dogs. Beautiful boy, actually, it says, thank you. And that is just quickly, because I feel like, especially over here, I talk about it a lot, but that's because I've had such a journey with my Frenchies. Love them to pieces, but they have been very difficult dogs to have because of this one. This is my second Frenchie, Biggie. He's very chilled now because he's about 4 or 5 now, I think. But we got him up in London when we had another Frenchie who's dead now. He had a brain tumor. But we got Biggie when we had the other Frenchie, and we were in lockdown. So he was just like super under socialized. We also moved to London in the pandemic, which was ridiculous. And therefore we couldn't go out much. We didn't see any of our friends, and we have no family up there. So Biggie basically spent the first, how long? 2 years, really biggest part of 2 years, just on dog walks with us, quiet dog walks. Or yeah, you just really saw us, didn't you? And also we just let him and Biggie, Bean, the first dog, we just let Biggie and Bean just go. Like, we didn't know really, it sounds really stupid saying it out loud now because looking back, like duh, but when Biggie and Bean would play, Biggie was just like a terror. He would constantly like wrestle, and they'd like bulldog fight. And if you have bulldogs, the breeds, you know, like they're kind of like, they like jaw each other's faces. And we just let them do it, to be honest. Like, we didn't train him at all because our first dog was an absolute angel. Never had to like actually train him, but he just was a good dog. In hindsight, is that because he had a brain tumor from birth and we didn't know about it? Was he just very like placid? Anyway, I feel like it was a combination of things. Lockdown puppy, Biggie, letting him run riot in the house and not putting any boundaries in really for him at all. And then also I think it's just a big part of his personality. He is was a very, very anxious dog. So all those things combined, he then became very aggressive to anybody that would come in our house. So we spent years with trainers, a really good trainer actually. We trained him, spent a lot of money and time and effort on him, and he got to a really good place. Bean had died, Biggie was a single dog. And then we moved back to Winchester, and in our old house we thought he really wants a friend, which he definitely didn't want a friend, but I thought he did want a friend. I was also going through infertility, so I just really wanted like a puppy and something to like look after. And so also we thought he was in a much better place. He was a much happier dog, not showing crazy signs of aggression really anymore. Got Yodi, the other Frenchie, who's down here on the floor. And oh my good God, that was a horrible year. Biggie absolutely hated him. He would like, I say attack, but loosely. He would lunge at Yodi and like go for Yodi, but he would never cause damage. So I feel like he was more trying to establish that he was like boss rather than actually hurt Yodi. But that was a horribly stressful year. We had to keep them separated for the best part of a whole year. After about a few months, we managed to get them to play nicely outside the house together. But if they were inside the house together, Biggie would just, oh, he was horrible. Of course, I love my Biggie, and I'd never ever get rid of him. Never would have rehomed him. That was never an option. We possibly were going to rehome Yodi. Oh, you smell. Can you go over there, please? But anyway, in the end, we didn't. We ended up buying this house. So we moved house again with the 2 dogs, and it was the weirdest thing. As soon as we walked in this front door, I guess because it's like a level playing field, neither of them knew this place. Biggie was just the nicest dog to Yodi. All the aggression stopped, all the trying to lunge for him and attack him and all that just stopped. And they've just been really good friends ever since. We've had a couple episodes in this house, but again, it's more just like Biggie telling like a younger dog off. Long story short, that's why we wouldn't trust him around the baby, because I think he's unpredictable. I don't know whether it's just me, but maybe like really, really well like really amazing dog trainers can see the signs from Biggie, but I don't know the signs. So when he attacks or decides to be a little rat, I don't feel like it gives me any warning for that. So yeah, in a weird way, I love Yodi to pieces, love Biggie to pieces, but I always say to Johnny, I think God put Yodi in our lives to, because we got to a place of Biggie where we trusted him with people and dogs, and we shouldn't have, because obviously he wasn't good with Yodi. We just have this like weird feeling that God put Yodi in our lives to kind of show us that we cannot trust Biggie. Then we fell pregnant, of course, and yeah, that's basically it. It's just a bit of like trauma probably on my end, a bit of fear. Also, I would just never trust a dog around a baby, ever. Any dog, I just wouldn't. So much anxiety the first few months with them, but slowly, we are a year and a bit down the line. It's a very happy household. The dogs get on, they can be around the baby. Like we can sit on the sofa with the baby and the dogs can be on the floor. They're super gentle with him when they ever have had the chance to like play with him. Yodi's fine, it's Biggie. When the baby's in his high chair and we're like cooking dinner or whatever, the dogs can be in the kitchen and they'll like go up and like lick his feet and like try and get like catch the food that the baby drops and things like that. So yeah, long story short, it's just a case of I don't trust Biggie at all, and that's because of how he acts or acted to Yuri and to other people and dogs. And yeah, so many questions on baby number 2. When are we gonna have another baby? Biggie, stop, all that stuff. I go back and forth on this all the time. I mean, it's not back and forth like one day I feel like this and the next day I feel like, no, it's by the hour. Like I am back and forth. I feel like in a weird way, the pressure is off because I don't have to plan to get pregnant in a way that somebody who didn't do IVF would have to. So it's not like we could say, oh, well, we want a baby like, you know, by the end of next year, so let's start trying in Jan. Because with us, we, thank God, we have 11 other embryos in the freezer. So I could say at the start of Jan, right, I want to be pregnant, and within 3 weeks I could be pregnant, because I will definitely do IVF next time. I'll touch on that in a minute. So the pressure's kind of off that way, which is nice. I really thought I thought I'd have another baby already by now, to be honest, as in like giving birth already. But the more time went on, there's a couple of things. I just really want to spend as much time with Monty as possible, just me and him. That's kind of like what my heart says. Like I look at him and I can't imagine having to share my time with someone, with another child. I'm sure a lot of people feel like that. The other thing is too, my God, it's harder. Like those first 6 months for me, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I had the world's easiest baby. I had the best time. I did not find it difficult. And I don't know what, I used to feel really guilty saying that out loud, but no, I had a very easy baby. I loved it. I thrived in it. Still am thriving and still am loving it, but it is way harder now. More just in this sense of time. Like he only naps once a day. He needs 3 full meals a day. He's full on, like he wants entertained all the time. He wants cuddled well, he doesn't want cuddled, that's a lie, he never wants cuddled. But you know, you have to like be around him all the time, take him places, and it's just not the same as that newborn days, which was like eat, sleep, burp, repeat. That was easy peasy. So that's kind of where we're at now. Like sometimes we're just like, how on earth do we have 2 kids? Like I would definitely have another kid, definitely. But right now I just say I wouldn't have any time. Also something I absolutely appreciate is having Johnny at home and me at home all the time. When I'm like, right, I'm like babied out, I need to tap out now. I can hand the baby over to Johnny and I have silence. Like I have all the time in my hands to do whatever I want to do because Johnny's watching Monty. So if I had a second kid, like I could hand one over, but I'd still have another one to look after, and I'm just not at a place yet where I don't want to have any time for myself. So sometimes I just kind of get into this headspace of like, you know, whatever, let's just get it done, get it out, have a crazy few years, and then they'll be older and they can entertain themselves. The other part of me is like, let's just wait till he's at school, or at least at preschool. So maybe when he's about 3, then have another baby. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm very impulsive. So like maybe there'll be like a week where like that whole week I'm like, I want to do it. And then I'll end up pregnant within the next few weeks. But I just think in terms of work, in terms of being self-employed, in terms of the size of my house too, in terms of having 2 dogs around, in terms of just like the time spent that is needed for a child that's a toddler, I just don't know how I could ever have another one right now. I also used to have this real crazy thing in my head, like I need to have all my kids before 30. That was always my plan. Obviously infertility absolutely ruined that plan, and kind of forced me to relax about these. I've always been like this. I have like dates and goals and timelines and everything, but I feel like infertility really was the universe saying to me, like, you need to chill out. Like, life is life, it's fine, you've got time. So yeah, I feel a lot more relaxed now. And having a child at, and this is no offense to anybody that's had a child at any age, but having a child at 33, 34 now doesn't feel old to me. Maybe that's also because I'm turning 30 next year. I'm like, oh, that's actually not that old. But when I was like 21, I was like, I don't want to be an old mother. But now, yeah, no, now that I'm approaching 30, I'm like, okay, I'm still young, it's fine. Also, I'll just touch on that one. Then a lot of the questions saying, would you try naturally or would you do IVF? Johnny wants to try naturally. I just feel like I went through all of that pain and heartbreak and stress and surgery and egg retrieval and anxiety and just all that comes with IVF. Like, I'm not gonna have done that just for one kid. So I definitely want to at least have one more from an embryo. Happy to try naturally for the third one, but definitely this next one has to be an embryo. Also, I just think it's so fascinating. Technically, right, so I'm a twin, I'm not identical. All my embryos are basically like non-identical twins because they were all harvested at the same cycle. So like my sister and I, 2 different eggs from the same cycle of my mum, but we're non-identical twins, right? So all my embryos are that. So they do say, I say they, you know, like people in the IVF world who've gone through and had kids grown up and all that, they all say like, you do end up seeing this like really special, unique bond between the embryos, babies, embryos. All my embryos are technically like mine and should technically have mine and my sister's, like, that kind of weird twin bond. Do you know what I mean? And I just think that's so fascinating. I can't wait to see how that unfolds. Maybe they won't be that similar, but maybe they'll like look really similar. They'll have like more similar mannerisms than just siblings, more of like a twin thing. Maybe a bit of telepathy. I have a lot of telepathy with my sister. Yeah, I'm fascinated by it, and I love the fact that he's a little like IVF baby, and I would love to just use them. Would you donate your embryos once you finished having your babies? I wouldn't. I don't think I could handle knowing that our children are somewhere in this world and I don't know what they are or who they're with or what their life is. I just couldn't handle that. So you can donate them to science, you can donate them, and you can also bin them, which sounds horrible, but yeah, bin them. And I think I will definitely bin them. Even like putting them to science, it doesn't feel right. Initially, I felt like, oh, they're just eggs, like they're not actually babies. Like to me, it always felt like they're just chances. Like that's what I always kind of said, like, I don't feel like they're babies, I feel like they're chances. And they're just little things in the science pot. But now that I've got Monty, I'm like, oh my God, no, there's 11 Montys in a freezer right now. And I just don't think I could donate that to science or donate that to somebody else. I just would have to bin them, yeah. Anyway, since we got permission to be nosy, love that. Do you two want to get married? Just curious. I feel like this is a question that's been given to me for 10 years. And it's not just by you guys, it's by my family, my friends, like everybody. So Johnny doesn't want to get married. That does annoy me. There was a period there for a couple of years where I thought like, I think because I was so hell-bent on getting pregnant that I was like, I actually don't care about marriage. And I still don't care about whether you have marriage then babies or babies then marriage. I don't care about timelines like that. But for a while I was like, I actually don't care about getting married. But I think now that I've got a child and I'm out of the whole infertility fog, I think that I just didn't have the brain space to care about getting married at that point. Like all I wanted was to be pregnant. So for a while I was like, yeah, I don't really care. Like I actually didn't care. I was like, it doesn't affect me. I just want a baby. I just want to be a mum. Now that I've got a baby and I am a mum, I do want to get married. To be honest, it's not like a point of like friction for Johnny and I. It's more just, I don't know, we're just very much like, we talk about it all the time. It's a very civil conversation. We kind of feel like it will happen at some point, but it just won't. I don't want a big wedding either. If I get married, it would be family, immediate family only. And it would be like a weekend abroad and just something really chill. Neither of us would want a big wedding. So yeah, it's more like he doesn't want to get married. I do, but he's not against it forever. So it will happen at some point. It's just like, we're not crazy into it. I don't know, it's strange. Like I'm not like desperate to be married, but I do want to be married. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I'm not the kind of girl that ever like dreamed about my wedding dress, any of that. I just think it'd be really nice to be a wife. Can you hear the rain? I hope it's so dark outside. I think it'd be really nice to be a wife. And also, Johnny's last name is Godfrey, mine is Walker, and our son's last name is Walker Godfrey. So at the minute, all three of us have different like last names, although of course he's got both of our names, but it would just be nice to all share a last name as a unit. So yeah, that's why. If it was up to me, I would have been married. I would have been married already probably, or starting to plan to get married now. I would love to have my children at my wedding. I've always said that. So again, timeline's not really a big thing. But yeah, the only reason that we're not married right now is because of Johnny. Yeah, but I mean, also an engagement ring, I would quite like that. That wouldn't go amiss. Have you gone to a doctor regarding your PMS? I'm struggling with it, so any advice would be great. Yes, no, I didn't go to a doctor, but I have an update to tell you. So I started taking evening primrose oil every single night. Guys, whether it's placebo or not, it is actually calmed me down so much. Like right now, I'm in, what's the date? I don't even know. I'm trying to hold my Q&A open. Right now, I'm in the week where I should be, or have been, going around to like everybody like cannot get up in the morning, like miserable women, like just everybody and everything annoys me. And for the last, I'd say 2 cycles, so definitely the last one and then this will be the next one, I'm like, where's my PMS? I said to Johnny the other day, I said, have you noticed that my PMS was quite, this is not the other day, last cycle, once I was on my period, I said to him, did you notice that my PMS was like better this month? And he was like, no. But whether he feels it or not, I feel it 100%. I feel calmer. I mean, I had one day last week where I went into that pits of like, you know, like critical, like so shit in my job and like, why am I in England? And like, nobody likes me and like that whole horrible mess that people can get into before in their PMS. I had one day of that. So I feel like it is a lot better. Whether I'm acting like that out loud, I don't know, but internally that voice in my head that is the thing that would absolutely just ruin my 2 weeks leading up to my period, it's been very quiet. Also, I haven't told you this, I started back with my therapist, or a life coach / therapist, so she's a great help for me. I just like voice note her non-stop in that week, and we kind of just work through the anger or like the stress head together. I know it's such a luxury to be able to have somebody, a life coach or a therapist, and you know, that is such a luxury. I'm not blind to that. But yeah, I would start out by saying, get some evening primrose. Does it bother you when people shit talk you about how you do you? That's funny because it actually relates to the last one. The only time ever that comments would get to me in like the history of being online for me is when I'm PMSing. But 99.9% of the time, I mean, I find it funny. Like if I get a comment that's nasty, I'll like read it out to Johnny or like send it to my mum and sister group chat, and we all kind of like giggle about it. But to be honest, I feel like I don't know whether I'm lucky, if that's the right phrase to say, but I have such a lovely audience of girls. I feel like we're all very much like the same vibe. All the conversations I have with you girls on like Instagram DM and things, we're all just like the same vibe. And I just feel like that kind of person, I don't know, I just don't have anybody nasty following me. The ones that are nasty, I block pretty much immediately. And the ones that are awful, like the most heinous comments you could ever imagine, they come in not very often, but they always come in from an account that's like no picture, random numbers for the username. So that's just like some random freak. Yeah. Do you split bills and mortgage? We do. No, we don't split everything like down the middle, but like we pay for separate things, you know. It's like it ends up being like 50-50-ish, but we all just kind of just like allocate different things to pay for. What's the sex life like as new parents? I mean, dead and more dead. I don't know I don't even know who I was after I gave birth. I was like, let's get pregnant, it's gonna happen, because obviously they say when you give birth you're like super fertile. So we were, yeah, active. But no, absolutely no, dead as could be. I have no interest in it. I've spoke to a lot of girlfriends actually who are mums, and actually also it was in a book, the book I was just telling you about, they touched on it. This girl had a baby, and just it was talking about how like you just don't desire that like what you used to. Maybe that's not for everyone, of course, but yeah, dead, and I have no interest in, no. And also, oh, it's so bad because obviously we have embryos, so obviously like there's a part of that. I do think actually that's quite an interesting topic of conversation. A part of your sex life maybe kind of dies once you've had, I don't know, I feel like because I've had a baby, tick, like done what that bit I wanted to do, then I'm like, okay, and we have embryos in the freezer. I'm like, could literally have 11 more children and never have sex again. What's the worst thing about being a twin? At this age is, well, for me, is because she doesn't live next to me. I hate not living next to my sister, but growing up, the worst thing would always be the comparison. We hated that. And it's not like we didn't want to be pitted against each other. It's like we just didn't want to hear, you know, who was the better twin or whatever. Just like, and nobody would say that now at this day and age, at this age and stage of life. But when you're kids, people do. And yeah, that always really hurt us to, yeah. And also things like, if someone was nasty to my sister, like that would hurt me tenfold than if someone was nasty to me. I don't know, you feel very protective, probably a bit too protective over somebody from the very start of your life. So it's quite, I think it made me a hothead for sure growing up. I like would never let anybody even look at her wrong. Do you want a boy or a girl next? I really want a boy next. I can't imagine being a girl mom, guys. I have my girl name picked out. I always thought I'd have a girl. I've known her name for a decade. Every time I talk about that name, like I'll talk about her like she's here already, like, you know, oh, but when I have da-da-da, it'll be like this. Like I talk about her all the time. But I definitely would like another boy next and then a girl, definitely. Has it been with your partner? Have you guys' has your guys' relationship changed since you had a baby? It's been up and down, you know, to be honest. It was amazing the first while because we were, like I said, easy baby, in bliss heaven. I was just like the happiest ever. I still am extremely happy. But then I think the bubble, the postpartum bubble bursts, and then real life sets in, and then baby starts crawling and walking and running and screaming, and like it has been challenging. That as well, that we're both at home all the time, we're both self-employed. We have butted heads a lot. I feel like I feel like you really have to work at your relationship. Not that we have to work at it in like a scary sense, but more so like knowing now our plates are so full now with like being self-employed, being parents, living in the same house. Like we really have to then set aside time to remember actually we're also a couple. So when we went out for our anniversary meal, which was the first time we went out together outside of having the baby was almost a year old, and that was our first date night, just us two. It was so lovely. We didn't even go out late. We were literally out for like 2.5 hours, didn't have that much alcohol. What I did, I had like 4 or 5 wines, but we weren't like out all night, you know, but it was just so nice to reconnect like that. I do also think when the baby starts going down to bed in a routine, so he goes down by 7 every night, you do kind of get your evenings back and you get to be more of a couple. But I don't know, it's been very smooth sailing overall. I feel like also our relationship's actually better in some ways because there was so much stress for so many years because of infertility, and I was like obviously miserable 90% of the time, super depressed, and just it was a horrible like cloud that would hang over us. So I feel like since we got our baby, or even since we were pregnant in the past like 16 weeks, it's just, yeah, our relationships just felt really nice, and like a lot of stress has left it, or has been alleviated. Is Scotland still in your plans to move to? Yes, I look at Rightmove all the time. The problem is I just don't know where to live. I'm originally from Glasgow and I have family in Glasgow, but I don't have any friends in Glasgow. I have no friends in Scotland really, apart from a couple which is up where I live, which is 4 hours north of Glasgow, which I would never live in. It's far too quiet, far too far away from things. I don't really like the cities around where my family are, so like Aberdeen, Inverness. I wouldn't want to live there. Definitely wouldn't want to live in the village that they live in. So the only 2 options really is Glasgow and Edinburgh. Glasgow I have family in, but I don't know if Glasgow's my vibe. And then Edinburgh I think looks amazing. I think I could really make a life for myself there, but also it's so expensive and I don't know anybody in Edinburgh. I don't have any friends, any family, nothing. So it would really be starting over. But I think the more time that goes on, the more I'm like, if I think about my future and like I picture it, I just know I'm going to be in Scotland. It's just finding where. I found some gorgeous houses, but I'd send them to like my mum and dad and be like, where's this? Is this good? And they'll be like, but you're in the sticks, as in like, I don't know if that's a Scottish phrase, but it means like you're in the middle of nowhere, like you would be so lonely there. So it's more a case of where, I'd say. And when, it would be probably, I love my house, I don't want to leave here anytime soon, but maybe in the next 3-4 years, I'd say. But yeah, I always say home, like Scotland's home, but actually it's not, like England is home. I've been here for 11 years now. Like I grew up in England. I know England, like I know it very well. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like it would feel like a huge change, but it will also be like, I want a life where I can get in the car and drive to my mum, especially now I have kids. I don't want to get on, like, first of all, the cost of flying to Scotland is insane. Sometimes the flights are like £500 if you book them last minute, so you always have to plan. Then I have to go to Heathrow, so it's like an hour in the car to Heathrow, and well, 2 hours in the airport. Then it's an hour, 2 hour flight. It's like and then it's an hour and a half drive home. So it's like a whole 7 hour trip just to go home to Scotland and see my parents, which is crazy. But obviously they come down a lot too. Like I was just in London with my dad this weekend, just gone. But yeah, I definitely want to move to Scotland. I definitely think it's going to happen. I definitely want to raise my kids in Scotland too, which is strange. Like, it's funny how life circles around. My dad said that you're going to move back to, so you're going to go to Edinburgh, then you're going to go to Glasgow, then you're going to move closer and closer and closer, and you're going to end up back in the village. And I was like, well, maybe, who knows? But yeah, definitely is in my plans. There's no rush for it, and I need to figure out where. Do you ever think you and your sister will live closer? I mean, there's two options for that. I move out to Dubai, or she moves back here. She's just bought a house in Dubai, so now I have free accommodation, which is great. She's got a pool and everything, so that's amazing. I'm going out in January. I don't think, because she's just bought that and renovated, I don't think they'll come home at least for 10 years, and I just don't see myself living. I couldn't live in a hot country. I love the seasons. See how I keep talking about the rain? I don't know if I might cut that out, but I keep going, oh my God, the rain. I love it. Like, I love the seasons. I love England or the UK. I just don't think I could live in a hot country. I don't think I could like be like, you know, it's Halloween and then it's like hot, or like Christmas and it's hot. It's just not my vibe at all. So I don't think we'll live closer together at least for like 10, 15 years, but hopefully one day. My plan was always that her and her husband would buy a house next to me and my husband, obviously like before we had partners. This is when we were like kids. That was always what we spoke about. We'd buy 2 houses on the same street. I just don't think that's actually a reality, unfortunately, but I would love it. You know, you see on like, if you're on TikTok, you know, you see these like big American, what would the word be? Not like estate, but like, I guess like a big estate, like these families that buy like massive plots of land and they have like 5 different houses on the land and they all just like live together. That's my dream. How do you manage stressful parenting situations with Jay? Actually, that's actually quite a good one, because we have butted heads on parenting a few times. Or yeah, not different parenting styles, but just, I think it's just a case of like, first of all, we're both learning how to be parents. Second of all, I think there is a big thing between like being a mum and being a dad. There's like an instinctual thing with a mum where dads are learning. I think I've touched on this before. And also I think dads are a little bit more like, so if he falls and bumps his head or, you know, bumps himself, you know, Johnny's a bit more like, you're fine, come on, up you get. And he is fine. Like, obviously he wouldn't do that if he wasn't fine. But whereas I'm obviously like, I think as a mother, your heartstrings pull a bit more. And so there's been a few, not arguments, but a few like butting heads there where I'm like, you need to do it like this. And he's like, no, I'm going to do it my own way. And then, yeah, I think at the minute it's all like fun and games. When it comes to actually disciplining our children and like, you know, if he's done something naughty, how do we handle that? And are we going to have a naughty step? And are we going to do grounding? We have to really be on the same page there. And Johnny and I were raised completely differently. I would say, he doesn't think so, but I would say he was raised quite strict, and I would say I wasn't raised quite strict. I also left home at just turned 16, lived on my own since I was 16, so there was different upbringings there. It's making me laugh. Yeah, we were raised differently, that's for sure. So we would have to make sure that we're on the same page when we're raising our child together, because I don't ever want to be in a situation where I'm trying to parent my child one way and he's trying to do it the other way, and then our kid, I mean, either plays us both against each other, which I used to do that. I'd ask mum and she'd say no, then I'd go ask dad, or other way around. But I really want to make sure we're like on the same page parenting. So at the minute there's been a couple like, for God's sake Johnny, or like, for God's sake Nadia, but it's over quickly. But I think the real time we have to really be on the same page for that is in a few years, for sure. When he starts being naughty, like how do we handle that? And I don't want to be like a soft, is it called soft parenting? Not happening. No way. Nothing against it, but not for me. I feel like if kids are doing wrong, you need to be told they're doing wrong. But yeah, I think like naughty step, that kind of vibe. I've not actually had this conversation with him. I maybe should have that this weekend. Have a glass of wine and talk about how we're going to parent down the line. How do you keep your house clean? Do you have a cleaner weekly, fortnightly, a RoboVac? I'd love a RoboVac, but these dogs would absolutely ruin it. They'd like proper attack it. We have a cleaner once a week and she's an absolute angel, and I could not keep the house tidy without her. I also have a nanny twice a week, so twice a week the baby's out of the house and I can get on top of like cleaning up my mess, which is always around. I'm not messy, but I just have like stuff everywhere. And I'm not good at like collapsing cardboard boxes or like putting stuff out to the recycling, that kind of thing. So yeah, between having 2 days baby free and 1 day a cleaner, that's how I keep the house clean. I couldn't do it on my own. Johnny's also fantastic at cleaning. He loves to clean. He does all like the bed sheet laundry. He does all like the cleaning up the kitchen after dinner, and like he's a fantastic cleaner. There's quite a few questions in here about my tan, which is funny because, oh no, that's so funny. I'm filming 2 vlogs at the same time right now. I was gonna say there's a few questions about my tan in here, which is funny because I just filmed it, but I filmed it for the next vlog. So the tan I use and all that is in the next video. And a lot of people are asking about workouts and like, when did I get back to working out after having a baby, and what do I do for workouts? I tried to go back to the gym, I think probably about 4 or 5 months down the line, and it was fine. I just didn't enjoy it. I was like, I just hated it. I used to love HIIT workouts. That's what I would do. I'd go to my personal trainer twice a week, every single week, HIIT workouts in the gym. Loved it. Loved to like sweat and get like my heart rate up. And then I tried it again and I was like, I just wasn't enjoying it. I was like, it's just not my vibe at all. During pregnancy, I didn't work out, but I did do yoga, and I always thought I'd go back to that. Ended up not going back to that straight away, but I did after a while, and now that's all I do. I love it. If anything, just for my mindset, I think it's just the most perfect part of my week. It's so calm and quiet, and like I just love it. And I do think, I don't know, I never like feel like it sounds really big-headed, but I think I'm quite good at it. That's how I feel. Like I'm very bendy. I enjoy it. I'm bendy and flexible. Like I don't think I'm amazing at it, but I think I'm good at it, better at it than what I would be at HIIT workouts. So I just quite enjoy it, yeah. Most of it's just the same as what I've answered really, like how do I find balancing work and Monty and relationship, like that's hard, and the priorities are Monty, then work, then relationship. But I don't know, I feel like it's a season of life, isn't it? It's not gonna last forever, it's just a season. So I feel like you just kind of have to prioritize what's gonna benefit you better in that season. And right now for me it's my child and work, and Johnny's the same, and then our relationship is still there of course, but it's just not a priority right now. And by the time we've finished work and baby and house life and dogs, we're just tired. So I say, like earlier I said, oh, you know, when the baby goes down to bed at 7, that's great because then you get your evenings back, but baby goes down to bed at 7 and then I go to bed at 9, so it's like 2 hours that we can sit and hang out. But yeah, it's a balancing act, that's for sure. I'm gonna leave it there. That was fun. I feel like I should do them more. I do love a little natter. I'm gonna leave this vlog here as well because I think it's quite long actually, especially after this is in it. And then the next one is, what is the next one? Well, I've started it today, so it's just, oh yeah, so the next one is like just filming this week, which is my last week before I go home to Scotland. And then the next one may or may not happen, but that'll be a little vlog up in Scotland, which will be fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Anything that I showed you or talked about or mentioned will be linked down below, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.